Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to go over some different considerations you need to think about when you're cleaning your driftwood. And I'm also going to power wash some really big pieces at the end of the video, so stick around for that. It's neat. This video is not going to be about aquarium driftwood or using bleach. So let's talk about exterior or interior applications for your driftwood, because you're going to need to think about that in regards to how you want to clean it. Plus, what's the purpose? I mean, what do you want it to look like? Is it smooth finish, rough finish? Do you need to sand it? Are you going to carve on it? Or are you going to leave it as is? Is it smooth already? Is it rigid? Are there deep grooves? Is it pitted? All of that needs to be thought about. If you pull a piece from the lake versus pulling a piece from the beach, it's going to look different. The salt water and the heat and the wind and the sand really change the texture. There's some equipment and some supplies you might want to consider. Certainly a sander and some sandpaper, wire brushes, a nice nylon brush, pretty stiff. Power washer if you're doing big pieces, not necessary, but I've got the links for that in the description of the video. All of these pieces were at one time really gnarly, ugly pieces. And so this technique and these strategies do work. As you can tell in those photographs, those are all pieces that you just saw that were complete, and those are on multiple videos on my channel. So stick around and, let's go make a mess. All right, so here we are. Like I said, you pull a piece of driftwood from the beach, it's got that nice smooth finish. As you can tell with this piece, very nice. That's from the Texas coast. Already smooth from the sand, already bleached from the salt and the sun. Really great looking piece here. But if you pull a piece from the lake like I did, wow, totally different, right? This thing's grungy. It's got zebra mussels all in there and dirt and nastiness, bugs, algae, dried up. It's bad. So the way that I would clean this versus cleaning that piece of driftwood from the beach is very, very different. And so it's hard to know exactly how to start. These two pieces I also pulled from the lake. Not quite as bad as the previous one, but you can still see that the texture and the grain of the surface, the pits and the scarring, very, very different. And I can't just use a 180 or 220 sand grit paper on that and expect good results. So when I knock out any of those pieces over there that you see, or something like this, it's really going to have a different application from the get-go. And I will actually power wash these pieces at the end of this video, so make sure and check that out. But this piece here from the coast, not going to require that, right? And you need to really think through what your final product's going to be. And then you end up having a piece like this that's already kind of bleached, but this is from the lake. Not quite as grungy as the other one, but it's still, you can see, very porous. It is bleached from the sun. That's a piece of cedar. It's got some dried algae on it. So all of these things you need to take into consideration before you figure out, well, how do I clean this thing? Again, not for aquariums. That's not what I'm talking about here. This is just for art, whether I'm putting it on the outside in a garden, or maybe I'm hanging it on a wall. Am I going to use a carving tool with it, or am I just sanding this for a nice smooth finish? Either way, those are all things that hopefully you can learn from. I've got tons of videos that show my techniques that I use. A lot of times it's just the brush and the sandpaper, because I'm going to knock so much of it off with the sanding that I don't require any washing. However, some of these bigger pieces that I've got now definitely need to be power washed. So